Welcome back. You're with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow, and tonight our second The Influencer conversation is with Anarock Property Consultants. Joining us live on the show is Shajai Jacob of Anarock Property Consultants. He's the CEO of the GCC Middle East for the business. Shajai, good having you on the show. I want to talk about some of the key USPs as far as the Dubai real estate market is concerned and what you can tell our viewers.
So I think one needs to measure the USPs on two factors, qualitative as well as quantitative, Sunanda. The qualitative factors being the stability of the government, the pro-economic policies, the pro-growth government that is in place, a very stable monarchy which actually promotes ease of business. And I think that's proven by the fact that Dubai ranks 16th amongst the ease of business rankings amongst the global economies of the world. Dubai is truly at that cusp between the East and the West. It is a major trade facilitation location. Banking and finance is, of course, what has driven it. Tourism is where it is currently at the focal point, given the fact that Expo 2020 is around the corner. From a quantitative perspective, we have the fact that Dubai today is the least priced location amongst the top global economies of the world. So let me just actually mention where 1,500 square feet of space in Dubai, real estate space in Dubai, costs about $1 million, whereas in New York and in London, you'd probably get about 331 square feet, followed by decreasing trends in either a Monaco or a Hong Kong. So your price realization per square feet is pretty low, and you get more for in money from an international expat location. The second part being on the qualitative front is the revenue yield that one gets on a project, wherein you can get rents to the tune of between 4 to 8% at any given point of time, and that I think to be obtained or accrued from a international expat location is extremely high.
What is the growth that Dubai has seen in terms of the average revenue which has been generated from real estate deals, and just talk to us about how that's really contributed to GDP and the kind of growth that you've seen there? So
Sunanda, if you do a flashback back to 2011, the contribution of real estate to the UAE economy, and here I say UAE economy because Dubai constitutes a majority of the UAE economy, and that was at about 5%. Cut to 2018, we've seen the contribution of real estate to be at 7.2%. And in the last 5 years, we've actually seen 5 billion worth of transactions which have actually occurred in UAE real estate. Just in the last year, between the last year and the previous, we've actually seen a 20% uptick in the number of transactions that have happened in the UAE and the Dubai market. All of this has been, of course, primarily due to the fact that real estate in Dubai is now right priced.
Sure.
And with the the Expo 2020 and the other various economic factors which Dubai hinges on looking positive in 2021, 22, we do feel that it's the right time for an investment to be made in this part of the region.
Mixed-use properties and mixed-use property development, I understand, is a growing trend in Dubai. Why is that? Give us some insights on that, and also some insights in terms of why it's really having an edge over other kinds of property development.
That's a very good question, Sunanda, and especially for someone who's looking to invest in Dubai from a real estate perspective. So Dubai has this theme of live, work, and play. Why do I say live, work, and play? Because Dubai has always been fast-paced. Dubai has a great economic work culture, and Dubai has a great residential livability quotient. So for most investors and most residents, they tend to gravitate towards zones which fulfill this theme of work, live and play. For example, if you see, 15 years ago, there was no Dubai downtown. There was no Dubai downtown district where you had a huge Dubai Mall and you had the tallest building in the world, which is the Burj Khalifa, and you had the associated five-star hotels and the snazzy residential locations over there. But all of this today has contributed to build Dubai downtown, which I think epitomizes the entire work, live and play scene, as well as, the mixed use, demand. So we are actually seeing the real estate economy in Dubai migrate towards the work, live and play model, which is the mixed use tenancies.
Dubai is, of course, a very attractive real estate market, and I do want to talk about, which real estate market are you seeing gaining more traction after Expo 2020, whether it's the residential market or the commercial market, and what will really be the impact of the volume of property developments, post Expo 2020? What can you tell us?
Expo 2020 is expected to be the biggest game changer for UAE and in this part of the region. There's going to be a huge inflow of business operators, and at least 25 million people are expected to be in attendance at this global event. Consider this. Out of the 25 million, 70% of them are expected to be from outside UAE and this region. If even 2% of this number decides to stay back and conduct business, start newer ventures, get into alliances with existing UAE-based businesses, or incubate newer, growth-oriented opportunities, just imagine the kind of demand there is going to be for real estate. Rental is the first one that will come up,
sure,
both on commercial and, of course, on the residential aspect. The government is making a large investment in office spaces in the District 2020, as it is called, where the Expo 2020 is going to be held. There are tons of hotel apartments which are upcoming in that region. So, one, you're going to have commercial uptake of offices. You're going to have rental, which is immediately going to increase in terms of demand, of course. And of course, in terms of yield, wherein you will see Dubai, it's the larger Dubai itself, getting a far more demand from real estate. If, in a nutshell, to answer your question, there is going to be demand for commercial, there is going to be demand for rental, and with this demand for rental, there'll of course be an uptake, in the investment grade residential real estate.
We talk, of course, about ROI. What is the ROI that companies or individuals who are looking to invest into the Dubai property market can possibly expect?
Most international real estate markets offer ROI in the range of 2 to 3%, which is considered handsome in those markets. But Dubai and UAE is certainly an example wherein one can expect rental yields in the range of 6 to 8%. And if you look at that 6 to 8%, there are two factors to it. One is the long-term rental yield, and the other is the short-term rental yield. And I think savvy investors will look at short-term rental yields by leasing it out to holiday home operators, or actually using Airbnb and certain other portals to lease their homes to visitors who visit Dubai throughout the year, or long-term rental yields of 4 to 6%, wherein they can actually give it for an 11-month contract to residents who wish to lease their apartments.
All right, one last question then. What advice would you have for young entrepreneurs or companies that are looking to establish their presence in Dubai? What would you have to tell them?
So for young entrepreneurs and organizations looking to enter the Middle East market, looking to establish a presence in Dubai, I would say you should consider the following factors. One is that Dubai is today the incubation zone for a lot of traditional and tech firms. It is actually the bedrock of a lot of startups and has access to global capital and a talent pool, which is not just within this region, but from across the world who actually flock to Dubai for job opportunities. The government has actually made it pro-investor. So there are long-term visas which are available from an investment perspective. SMEs who actually fulfill a certain bracket within the government's investment infrastructure will actually be now get paid off in 30 days vis-a-vis the earlier 45 to 90 day spectrum. The other factor that Dubai offers is a large consumption base, not just from within this city, but from the larger region. And of course, a pool of consumers. So therefore, considering all of these factors, Dubai puts forward a very strong case for businesses and startups to move to this part of the region in order to leverage the strong consumption base. You know, there is always a consumer out there for products and services.
All right, thanks very much for your time then. Good having you on the show. That was Anarock Property Consultants for you. Completely out of time on this episode of Leaders of Tomorrow. If you have any feedback for us, our contact details coming up on your screens in just a moment. Do let us know what you thought of tonight's episode. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.